everybody, this is Jonathan Miller, as always, with the Hometown Historian page. Really cool church over here. We're going to go drive through Coleman Park. This was land that was donated by the Coleman family, who were the basically the royalty of Lebanon. And we're going to drive through the park. We're actually, a few of the buildings that still exist, we're going to stop, we're going to walk around them so you can check out the architecture. This is a really cool park, public park here in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Like I said, the land was donated by the Coleman family, who were the owners of Cornwall Iron Furnace, a lot of forges, a lot of iron works all over the place. They were definitely an iron dynasty. We've talked about the Cornwall Railroad and the Cornwall and Lebanon Railroad. And this is where they actually had their mansions, and it was a whole slew of them. Most of what was here got torn down, but there are a couple buildings that still exist here. Really pretty. I think the one stable house, a carriage house or something like that, still exists. There was a really nice pool that was out here for the longest time, but it just eventually, with liabilities and just not many people coming to it anymore. You can see one of the buildings there. They just eventually tore the pool down recently. But here's one of the buildings here to the right. So we'll stop here and then take a peeky at it. Go over here and park. So we'll get out of the vehicle. I just thought this would be a cool place to stop, and then we will. Now it looks like it's like a garage, but I would guess that was like a carriage house of some sort. I'll have to look and see what buildings are left, and then I'll do a little bit more of a video of the structures that still exist, and then put up some pictures of the mansions that had once been here. Just so you guys can check this out, and we'll talk a little bit about the Coleman family more in the video. But as you see, very cool stone building here. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what it was at one time, but I'll find that information out, and we will you can see there's another part of the building there. But yeah, it's a pretty cool building out here. But so we'll go back to Chuck, and then we'll drive around a little bit more of the park here. And like I said, I'll wind out getting some pictures and taking those for you guys so you can see what some of the old mansions here. It's a shame that they were torn down, but that's just sort of, unfortunately, that's sort of what they did back then, is they just tore stuff down. But you gotta admire their generosity in donating this land for the Lebanon area. They did a lot of philanthropy, taking care of people, the needy, and that type of stuff. So they were well renowned for doing that type of stuff. They were good people. But this is a really nice place to just come and enjoy if you're in the area, just to drive around it. If you're gonna check out Lebanon, and like, say you go and check out Union Canal Tunnel Park, this is a great place to come down to as well. One of my friends got married here, and we did, I think it's like right here we're coming up on, for Lebanon Christian Academy, had a project where we made those sort of free, like the gravity cars, I forget what they're called, but we went down this hill, and we had a guy, his name is Jonathan Ziegler. He drove our car, and my classmate Roger actually did the vast majority of the work, because he was probably the only person that was really that skilled in our group. But it was very cool. It was a lot of fun doing that, and they do have a lot of cool things here on the right. Music in the park, where they'll have all different types, whether it's gospel or whatever it is. They'll have music down there at the venue there. It's like an amphitheater, basically. Pretty cool. Love the. I'm gonna quick stop this. So I just stopped here just quick because I saw a plaque and I just want to see what it is. I believe there's one down at the old stables as well. Maybe this has some pictures of stuff as well. Yeah, here's at this location stood a mansion, and there you can see the mansion a little bit closer, in which resided Arthur Brooke and his wife Sarah Coleman Brock, daughter of G. Dawson and Debbie Brown Coleman. Arthur and his brother Horace, who married Sarah's older sister Deborah, managed the North Lebanon furnaces after the untimely death of G. Dawson Coleman in 1878. Later, they co-founded the Pennsylvania Bolt and Nut Company. Arthur and Sarah were very prominent in Philadelphia social circles. In addition to residing at their Mount Lebanon mansion in the woods, Arthur died unexpectedly in Philadelphia in 1901 at age 59, after which Sarah and her daughter departed from their Mount Lebanon residence, never to return. This mansion was constructed in 1879 of limestone dressed in sandstone, which is something they were really renowned for. Like a lot of their architecture, they like to use the limestone dressed with the red sandstone. Sort of the accents here that you'd see, that would be the sandstone. With terracotta roofing, large dormers, and an impressive fish pond. It contained 30 rooms on 3 floors, including 3 fireplaces and 8 bedrooms or bathrooms. The mansion sat empty for decades after Arthur's death until Sarah deeded the property, consisting of 22 acres plus the mansion and outbuildings to the city of Lebanon in 1937. To be known as the Arthur Brock extension of Coleman Memorial Park in 1937, it was in 1937. It was the extension of Coleman Memorial Park. At Sarah's direction, the mansion was demolished by the WPA in 1937 with some of the wood and stone used to construct the band shell, which I believe that's the band shell over there, which stands today in the north of this site. In its heyday, 1900, the mansion outbuildings housed 14 family members and servants. Very cool. But the band shell is right over there, so apparently that's what they built it out of. But I just thought I saw that there. I was like, yeah, let's stop and check it out. Glad we did. So if there's any more, we'll stop for those as well. So we will continue driving on here. There you go, the tennis courts. And there's the band shell. You see, so you can see the stone. So the stone for the piers and stuff like that would have been, and the wood would have been used from Arthur Brock's house. Now this is where the pool used to be. Right down here. And I think back there as well. So that's all no longer around. It's just a shame because it was a really nice pool, but I do understand why they ultimately wound up tearing it down. There's that building there. I believe that might have been the stables, because it was weird because there was a couple buildings that were allowed to stand, and if there's a place to park over here somewhere, we'll walk over to that building and we'll check it out. And like I said, if I do see any more of those signs, that's the only one I've seen so far. I very well might have missed that as well, but we'll walk over there just quick. It's pretty cool. Looks like they're actually doing some construction on it as well. Now there's another one over there, so we'll go. There you can see it. Let us go out here. Sorry for some of the crappy filming here, but like I said, there's another sign over there. There probably are more, so I'll have to, at some point I want to come back here again, maybe talk a little more in depth here about Coleman Park. But they have a lot of cool things that they do here. It's, you know, once again, this is a public park run by Lebanon, and it's just a shame that so many of those buildings got torn down, but it is sort of what they did. A little bit of history on the Coleman family. Robert Coleman, he was the patriarch of the family. He actually worked for, we talked about Peter Grubb a number of times. He was the man that founded Cornwall Iron Furnace. I believe Robert Coleman actually married into the family, married one of his daughters, and he had bought parts of the company, and then eventually he bought the entire thing, and they had bought places like Union Forge, I believe. They own Speedwell Forge, the Hopewell Forges, they own those. A lot of other furnaces they own, Donamore, which we visited. But I'll get confirmation on exactly what this was, but I believe it was stables, if I'm remembering correctly. There's a stone that's sitting here. Almost looks like a gravestone. Let's check it out. Alright, so 1776, 1976, 2076. This Liberty pole was erected on June 9th, 1976 during the Lebanon week to celebrate the 200th birthday of America. Also in this spot is buried a time capsule as a lasting reminder to our future generations of our dedication to the principles of the Constitution, to be opened in 50 years for rededication, and again during the 300th anniversary, tricentennial. I'm not going to go back there because that looks more like personal space, but those are bathrooms, sorry. Alright, we are going to check this out. I didn't realize I had as much on my phone storage wise, so it decided to shut down. But yeah, this is, just look at the brickwork on this. This building is fantastic, but this is what the Colemans were renowned for, is they really loved the art of architecture, and they've really made fascinating buildings. They have a plaque over here. Let's check this out. But we had seen that Cornwall and Lebanon rail station, which Strickler Insurance is at now. They I was hoping I would actually say this is what this building was, but I do believe it was the stables. But because I know one was a carriage house, which the building over there would make sense that that was a carriage house, because it's carriage house is a garage they used to have, because there was a danger of cars blowing up back, you know, in the teens when the cars first came out. So they I just want to show an inside where you see the window from the inside. It's pretty cool. Bathroom, but still cool. I like how they have the old stone wall here. But once again, you look at the architecture, it's just beautiful. But that building over there where Strickland Insurance is now the rail station, that was that thing that they were known for, is they had very, you know, prominent architecture, and they donated to so many different places and churches, and they just did so much for their community. But they really did. They were people, they liked certain styles, and a lot of mansions. So the sad thing is, a lot of the buildings that they had built, like their mansions, a lot of them just don't exist anymore. There are a couple in Cornwall Manor, but like most of them, you know, they didn't do anything halfway. It was like we talked about the Arbiter over at Cornwall Iron Furnace. You know, it's a meat place. It's, you know, it's where they butcher animals and smoke meat, and yet it was beautifully designed, and that's what they did. You know, it's they believed in finding and making beauty in everything, and they were really quite extraordinary. I've never been right up against this, so it's so cool. I would love to see what those windows used to look like, but you know, once again, if this is a stables, which is what I believe it was, you know, look how ornate and how beautiful it is. But that was the Coleman family. They didn't do anything halfway. Everything they did usually had a pretty extraordinary beauty to it. But we'll go down to this other sign and check that out and go from there. Oh yay, we are here at another one of these signs. I think I'm going to make a quick run around the entire park again just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But there you can see one of these homes again. Is at this location stood a mansion in which resided Horace Brock and his wife Deborah Coleman Brock, eldest daughter of G. Dawson and Debbie Brown Coleman. Horace and his brother Arthur, who married Debbie's sister Sarah, which is the place that we just visited where that house had been. They managed in North Lebanon Furnaces after the untimely death of G. Dawson Coleman in 1878. Later they co-founded the Pennsylvania Bolton Nut Company. Horace was recognized as one of the most prominent leaders in the iron and steel industry in Pennsylvania. Horace and Deborah, who were married in 1878 in an elaborate wedding at Christ Chapel, were very philanthropic in the community, including founding the first hospital in Lebanon, the Good Samaritan, which that's something I did not know. That's pretty cool. They were the parents of two children, Deborah, who married Quincy Bent, and John Penn Brock, who built a mansion in the western area of what was called Mount Lebanon, now Count Coleman Memorial Park. Horace passed away at the age of 63 in 1917, and Deborah, who founded the Lebanon Women's Club, passed away in 1932. This mansion was the original residence of G. Dawson and Debbie Coleman until the completion of the homestead in 1853. It was renovated and enlarged by the parents as a wedding gift to their daughter in 1878 under the direction of famed architect Luther Simon. The mansion included an observatory on the roof from which it was said Palmyra could be seen on a clear day. The property was included in a deed of gift to the city of Lebanon in 1937, and the mansion was razed shortly thereafter. Let's see where the battery's at. I gotta get on the next couple days. I need to get on getting the SD card in the new camera and getting that going. There's another building over here which we're gonna check out. Make sure there's nobody coming. There's another nice stone wall. And here's a building, which this is actually a private property, so we're not going to stop, but this was probably something. You know, what exactly it was, I don't know, but that's a really pretty house there. But I'm sure that had some kind of significance in with the Coleman family, being that this was originally called Mount Lebanon. But like I said, we're gonna make another quick run around. Here's where, I don't know how often this is open, but they do at some point they did at least have ice cream and that kind of stuff, and then the mini golf, which it doesn't look like it's really been used for a while, so I'm guessing that's not in use anymore. But I'm gonna make a quick spin around again just to make sure I did not miss any other signs, and if I didn't miss any signs, I'll just be back to say bye-bye, and that's it. Alright everybody, so here's some of the pictures of the mansions. There were, from what I've read, excuse me, there were 3 mansions on the property. There was that one that was over near where the pool used to be, the first marker that we stopped at. The second marker that was more in the center of the park was another one of the mansions built for the daughters, I believe. And then there was the homestead, which was the original one, which I think was then eventually potentially deeded over. I'm not sure, but there was 3 total mansions that were there. Now, which ones are which with these pictures, I'm really not sure. But like I said, there were 3 mansions. That place that was in the center, the brick that we went around, that was known as the stables or as the carriage house. The first building that we visited, the stone place, was known as the Ready Ready building or something like that. It's a garage now, but I'm not really sure what it was. That cool house that we saw at the end, the stone house, that is actually the gatehouse. That's from the original estate, and that was the original caretaker's property of the park and where the mansions were. And now I believe the caretaker's house is the White House that's at the very front as you enter into the park to begin with. But I did stop. There's a stone church there. I have some pictures up. I'll probably quick put up some pictures at the end of this video as well when I say goodbye. It's called Christ Presbyterian Church. I believe that's the Christ Church that they were talking about that the one daughter got married in. The homestead was up till 1961. The other two were both deeded around 1937 and were both razed, demolished shortly thereafter, basically because when they established this park and donated the property, they didn't actually leave a trust, so it was completely the city's responsibility, and they just honestly didn't have the money to continue the upkeep of these beautiful mansions. What you're seeing now is this church, the Christ Presbyterian Church. This is the church I'm assuming that the one daughter got married in. Really, really pretty church. A friend was saying how beautiful it was on the inside before it got sold, and there's now a new ministry that's there. But enjoy these pictures, and like I said, as always, thank you for coming along with the on this journey, another adventure, checking out a cool place in this Whatnot Adventures. And as always, we will see you all about town.